Hello and welcome to this video. What we're going to be looking at are bearings type questions. We might be using the sine rule or the cosine rule. Now these types of questions do tend to cause a little bit of difficulty. It really is important to read everything carefully. The first thing I'm always going to do with a question like this is draw a picture, just following step by step what's going on. So with any bearing, we're going to always start with the north line, and it tells me to get from point A to point B, I'm going on a bearing of 37 degrees. So that's my point A. I'm going to point B, and because I know I'm doing bearings, I'm going to put another north line. And because I know that bearing is 037, that angle there has to be 37 degrees. What I'm then going to do is go to point C, somewhere down here, and I know it's somewhere down here. It tells me that this bearing here is 125 degrees. Put another north line, and then it tells me I walk straight back to A. So that line is going to come in there. What it's asking me to find is this bearing here. So what I've done is I've turned all of that writing into a picture so I can see what's going on. And I just need to put these distances on so I don't forget. If I'm looking at this, I know all three side lengths of the triangle. So that's immediately going to make me think it's something to do with the cosine rule. Now if I can find this angle here and this angle here, I'll be able to work out the bearing of C, because of course it just adds up to 360. Now this question mark angle, the green angle, is going to be 180 minus 125 because of our parallel line rules. So it's 55 degrees. And now I just need to use the cosine rule. So if you remember, you're given a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos A. Now I'm just going to change these letters around so I don't need to rewrite the formula. So that'd be little a, that'd be little c, and that would be little b. Now I need cos A on its own, so I'm going to rearrange a squared minus b squared minus c squared over minus 2bc is equal to cos A. Substitute all the values in. So cos A is equal to 5 squared minus 8 squared minus 12 squared over minus 2 times 8 times 12. And then when you find the inverse cos, that's going to give this angle here 17.6 degrees. So then the answer to the question, the bearing, is 287 degrees to three significant figures, just by subtracting 55 and 17.6 from 360. Okay, so with this question I'm going to draw a picture again. So I've got a bird flying on a bearing of 130, so it's going in that direction. There's my north lines, and it flies for 10 kilometers. It then changes direction onto a bearing of 200. 180 would be straight down to south, so it's going there, somewhere over there, 200 degrees, and it ends up due south of the tower. Now what the question's asked me to do is find this side length here. So I'm going to have to start off by finding some angles. Now if I'm looking at this, I'm thinking at the moment it's going to be a sine rule question, because I've got two sides involved. Now, using the parallel angle rules, this angle here is 50 degrees. So that allows me to find this angle in here by subtracting from 360, so that's 110 degrees. So this is looking good, because I've got an opposite side and angle here. But of course what I'm also going to need is this angle down here. Now to help me with that, I'm going to remember that this angle here has to be 50 degrees, because due south is going to be 180 degrees. So altogether I've already used up 160 degrees. So this angle here is 20 degrees. So now I've got all the information that I need. Now let's label up the sides. We'll call that big A and that little a, that B and that little b. The reason I'm using the 50 is I don't know the side length opposite, and it's not involved in the question at all. So 10 over sin 20 is equal to question mark over sin 110. If you remember, keep the unknown on top. Multiply both sides by sin 110 to get question mark on its own. So question mark is 27.5 kilometres to 3 significant figures. So when we see a question like this, getting the picture right to start with is important. It's not a waste of time doing the picture. The picture really, really helps. Remember the parallel line rules. So look for angles that you know the same or add up to 180. Remember the triangle rules. And then remember it's sine rule if 2 sides and 2 angles are involved. Cosine rule if all 3 sides are involved. I hope that helps. Thanks very much.